Hi, this is Sogazer. So today I got this jersey. This is LA Lakers Lore Series. And this is the third one, I think, was the Lore Series for Lakers. And the first one was Kobe. I did that review a little while ago, or a couple years ago. And that's still my favorite jersey out of all the Lakers from the Nike version. And this year, it's Shaq. Shaq is the first basketball player that I ever liked until Penny Hardaway came along a year after. And he's the reason that I like Orlando Magic. So I thank him for that. And unfortunately, he didn't stay with Orlando for too long. He did go to Lakers afterwards and won a couple championships there. And this is the jersey that he was wearing while he was in LA. So let's take a look at this together. As always, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to the channel, as well as liking the video. Appreciate your support, and let's look at this jersey. So it's pretty much the same as the basic jersey for the Lakers, but there are some difference compared to the last year's model. So let's take a look at it together. The collar. This is a wishbone. I think this is a wishbone, but it looks like a wishbone, but it just looks like it's just extended right here with a round neck, because there's not that much curve right here. I'm not sure if this is a mistake in the production or if it's supposed to be like this. As you can see, there's a lot of warping around here, probably because it's not stitched correctly, and it's pretty disgusting. It's a rib knit because this is a swingman jersey, and two different colors, gold and purple. So for the back, unlike the regular swingman jersey, there's actually a different color. This doesn't usually happen because it's just a one piece on 99% of the swingman jersey. But they do have a separate piece right here. It's disconnected, so stitches right here. And this back part is gold. So this one is a bias tape, is to hide unfinished seam, kind of like that. There's an armhole. The armhole looks a little smaller than the usual ones. It looks like it's really high up with where the underarm line is. And it's really curved. It's the same type of rib knit right here. Two different colors as well, and the backing is in purple. Nike swoosh. So I mentioned the other video, but this swoosh has more texture now. Not the perforation mark from the base fabric, but the surface of this print. It looks a lot more like a print than like a vinyl piece that they used to have. So it's not as smooth and it's not as shiny. You see a little bit of texture right here. This is something new from the City Edition. And by the way, this one is a lore series, so they're not really a City Edition. And Lakers tend to get this every year. And here's the Lakers. So the difference between the regular one and this one is definitely the really strong drop shadow. Really heavy one. And it's just one piece of fabric. They're all connected. And this is just a print. The purple is just painted on white fabric. And this part is a cutout too, so this is a base fabric, same as here, and same thing right here. The print looks pretty good, as usual. It's a pretty solid logo, so it probably won't come off that easily, whereas the LA Clippers, where they have a lot of edges, those will fade a little bit faster, I think. Number 23. And the amount of drop shadow is reduced on the numbers compared to the logo. It's a lot thicker on the logo than right here. And the angles are slightly different. This one's a little bit more tilted, whereas this one, it looks a little bit more like looking from a little bit further up, but from the bottom part. And they do this a lot with the jerseys. I think San Francisco jersey for the Warriors did the same thing where they have two different angles, and I personally don't like that much. I like it to be consistent with it. Otherwise, it looks kind of weird, at least to me. So it's okay, but I wish they were uniformed or has some reasoning to it. So that's pretty much what's the front. And then on the bottom, 52, which is my usual size, and this is from the second year patch. And on top it says core lore series and Shaq's autograph on it. This is a print. It's in purple. And I don't know why, but Lakers always get this series. No other team ever got this series, I think. So Lakers never really had a City Edition jersey because they're always the lore series. I think it's okay, but it's kind of unfair that only Lakers get this. There are other teams that has legends in their team, and they should be honored as well. And initially I thought they did it because they were Nike endorser. But it turns out this year is Shaq and he's a Reebok guy. So that wasn't the reason that they didn't do any other player. So hopefully in the future they will add different teams into this lore series because I think this is a good throwback. So this is how it looks in the back. Like I mentioned earlier, this part is a separate panel. It's not the same fabric. It's two different fabrics. So there's three pieces all together. It's in gold, and there's a seam line right here. It's connected with the shoulder panel. It's aligned to that on both sides, but this side is actually off. It's a little bit more outward compared to this line. So that might be the reason that this is warping like crazy because I don't think they constructed this correctly. Same fabric or same rib knit on the armhole as the other side. NBA logo, it's a standard print. It's the one that's flat and it's not debossed. James, the player name, is in purple. The font seems a little small for some reason. Maybe because this number is so huge. And maybe the number of letters that they're using too, but purple fabric, it's a twill fabric. It's the same one as these, just in purple. Heat adhesive, and there's no problem with the cut because it's probably made in the Nike factory, not the team factory. The quality is a little bit better if it's made in the Nike factory, so this is pretty good because he's the main guy in the team. If it was when cooked, it's probably not as clean patches as these. The number, same thing as front. It has drop shadow to it. Compared to the overall body, it looks pretty big, very visible. Here's a side panel. For a swingman jersey, this is a lot more detailed than a traditional jersey. So it's a rectangular piece, which is common, and it has a trim, which is common too. But this trim has a little debossed print on it. So MDE, which is his nickname, I can't remember what it was, most dominant ever. I think something like that. That's what it means. That's Shaq's nickname, and it's throughout the whole ribbon on both sides. Inside the rectangular piece, it has this triangular pattern to it. So it's a yellow base, which is the regular color, and then there's orange printed on top of it. That's a screen print, as well as this piece right here. The stars. And on the other side, it's the same thing. So this is a lot more detail. Oh, by the way, this right here, this purple strip is part of this white tape. At the edge, they have a purple yarn and extended out. You can see all the warping around the shoulder. That's from construction, and I don't think these will go away because it's the way that they were made. It does bother me a little bit as this will be a little bit noticeable. So make sure to get a jersey that doesn't have these issues before you pick them up. The side, I really like this detail. On the back, it's pretty simple. In the front, it's a really nice bold font on the name and the number. And I really like the fact that this is a Shaq's jersey. So honestly, this is a really good buy if you like Lakers and if you collect their jersey, because this is the same price as a regular Swingman jersey, which is $110. And you get this much more detail out of it. So for the amount of money you pay, you get a pretty good jersey with a lot of detail. Because if even this was a regular association jersey or icon jersey, it'll be 110 and all these detail will be missing. So if I were to wear a Lakers jersey that was yellow, I'll get this one. Unless you don't like Shaq. And who doesn't like Shaq? So this is definitely a good buy. And with the way that they're playing this year, it's definitely a good piece to have if you're a Lakers fan or if you like Shaq. I know they have an authentic version of this. I'm not sure if I will get it, but I am curious about some of the details. It's already good enough, but I feel like they'll be even better, so I might just get them and see how they look and compare them. So that might happen in the near future, but I'm not 100% sure on it. But what do you think about this jersey? Let me know in the comment below. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as well as liking the video. Appreciate your support, and see you next time.